Woo, here's a hot take on this week's episode.
If you only do one thing because better diet, I could talk for 6 hours on better diet. But if
Sure.
you are only going to do one thing for your precious brain, for your skin, for your longevity, stop eating white refined sugar.
I
It
agree.
is the worst offender when it comes to brain inflammation, and inflammation is the main cause of your brain atrophying or aging too fast. White refined sugar and foods that act the same in your system, like refined carbs, like white bread, white pasta, is causing the inflammation that slows down communication between the neurons. It makes you feel dull, foggy, forgetful. And brain inflammation is serious because if you continue to not do anything about stress and eating inflammatory foods like white refined sugar, you can actually cause enough inflammation that your nerve cells and the brain start dying.
Level up, don't look back, let's go. Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah, I'm rising fast. This is my moment, it's built to last. Keep the focus, keep the drive. No slow motion, I'm alive. Power surging, can't deny. I'm unstoppable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Whitman, helping you go from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant through aligning your life in the 7 pillars of abundance. And today we have an expert that can speak into 2 pillars, if not all of them. Welcome to the show, Debra Poneman.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
It is so great to have you here. I'm going to tell my audience a little bit about you. Debra is a living legend in the world of transformation. For over 4 decades, she's been empowering people to say yes to success, which is the title of her seminar company. She has mentored some of the great thought leaders of our time, best-selling authors, conscious entrepreneurs, celebrities. I mean, she has coached so many incredible souls, and she has been featured on major news outlets like ABC, Fox, and CNN. She's known as the mentor to mentors. From teaching meditation in the 70s to building a global movement for authentic success, now she's in Ageless Vitality. She teaches people how they can awaken their version of prosperity, purpose, and peace and health. And her new seminars, Ageless, teach us how to stay young and vibrant and age in reverse. So I'm so excited to dive into all of this. Let's start off with your first amazing seminar company. What inspired you, Debra, to create the Yes to Success program?
Oh, good. My favorite subject, other than being ageless.
Of course.
In the early 1970s, I actually became a meditation teacher. Transcendental meditation was really popular, and I went and I studied with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and I taught meditation full time for the entire decade of the 70s. I've actually been a meditation teacher for 53 years,
That
and
was way before it was trendy.
before it was trendy, but it was fun because we actually used to meditate for 8, 10, 12 hours a day back then when
Did
I
you
was
float? I remember taking that course in the 70s with the Maharishi, and they showed us a video of people like floating.
that yeah, we could spend the whole next hour talking about that. But I'll tell you something. We more like it's called the TM Cities program, and cities are like abilities, like being able to have supernormal hearing or being able to know the future, things like that. But one is for your body to be weightless.
Yeah.
And basically, what happens when you do the TM Cities program is that you get this Kundalini rush, and it goes and you can't sit. Your body has to like move up and forward. But I did one time see somebody, only once, but I saw somebody hover, like went up and she clearly hovered in the air. And I'm like, this works. But I never hovered, I just hopped. But back to my story. So what happened was, for the decade of the 70s, I taught meditation. I lived in Fairfield, Iowa, in a meditation community. Maharishi International University was and is there. I was the director of admission. But at the end of that decade, I realized that woman does not live by mantra alone. I had to make some money. So I thought, okay, where are the rich people? So this is 1979. I thought, obviously they're all in Los Angeles. I mean, I watch the Beverly Hillbillies. So,
Right.
right. So I packed up and I moved out to Los Angeles to sell investments because I thought I could make a lot of money, then go back to teaching meditation. And you know that expression, you make plans and God laughs. Well, God
Yes.
had a big old yuck over me thinking I was going to make money in LA. I was a dismal failure. I didn't sell any one. I sold one investment to my father because he felt so sorry for me. But why we think we are doing a thing is often not why we are really doing a thing. We just follow the breadcrumbs and then we end up at this glorious outcome or this glorious destination. And one day while I was selling investments, somebody invited me to the Learning Annex. Again, this is back in 1979. And it was a guy giving a money seminar. They thought it would help me sell investments. But he was talking about the law of attraction in 1979. And he was talking about how our thoughts create a reality. And he was talking about how we're like tuning forks. And if a tuning fork is vibrating in a B flat and an F sharp comes towards it, it deflects that F sharp. But if a B flat comes towards it, it augments the B flat. He said, if you're always talking about how poor you are, you'll never find your soulmate. You'll never be able to, have a best-selling book, blah, 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 blah. Then that's how you're vibrating. And that best-selling book, that opportunity to make a lot of money, that soulmate comes towards you, you're just going to deflect it with your vibration. So I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I already know how to create inner silence. This is how to create outer success.
Yeah.
And I gave up to selling investments, thank God. And I started studying the great masters of success and prosperity, the timeless wisdom of people like Napoleon Hill and Wallace Wattles and Catherine Ponder. And after a few months, I put this really great seminar together. And I just want to share a few tools that I use.
Sure. We'd love tools.
Because one of the things mistakes that people make when they have a really great idea of something they're going to do, all of those great masters told me that what is sacred must be kept secret. Don't share your idea when it's a tiny seed that could easily be crushed by what I call the discouragement committee.
Ooh.
Those people who are going to tell you why there's so many people who have podcasts on, being abundant and beautiful. Don't even bother, right?
Right.
Or even somebody who says to you, oh yeah, that's a great idea. You're going to do a podcast on leadership. But you can tell by their facial expression that they don't think it is.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah, their body language. Oh, yeah, that's really a good idea. But now your tiny seed of an idea, boom, before it gets a chance to take root and become a strong plant and a beautiful tree. So when I had the idea that I was going to create my own success seminar, like that guy at the Learning Annex, only fuller and more glorious, I didn't tell anybody what I was going to do until I was ready to launch it. And that is the truth. And when I went to put up posters, 1980 now, of course, that's how you put up posters. I put up the posters and the discouragement committee came out saying, oh, no one's going to believe that your thoughts create your reality. But I had taken a step from which there was no turning back. See, people, they wait until everything is perfectly in place. I'll do it when the kids start school. I'll do it when the kids end school. I'll do it when the divorce goes through. I'll do it when I get the inheritance. Then you're on your deathbed and you didn't do it.
Yeah,
So,
do it messy.
Do it messy, honey. I love that.
I like to say messy is the new sexy.
I love that. And you do it messy and you take a step from which there's no turning back. Right. Which is what I did. I rented a room, put up the posters, and the discouragement committee said nobody would come to it, and there was standing room only. And
Yeah.
within the next few years, my seminars were being taught all over the world.
So how many countries were they taught in?
Well, again, this is the date. There not only was there not the internet, we didn't even have fax machines. We didn't
Wow.
have cell phones. We had those telephones that were connected to the wall by the curly cords, remember?
Yeah.
And you'd call overseas and it'd be like, "Shh, can you hear me?" You know,
Wow.
and I was in 12 countries on 9 continents. I mean, excuse me, 12 countries on 4 continents and in 9 major cities in the US. And I went from LA to San Francisco to Chicago to Boston to Orlando to Washington, DC to New York City. And it became a phenom. And that is my story about Yes to Success. I still teach it today.
Incredible. So you made a massive shift when you became a mom. You had this super successful Yes to Success seminar, worldwide phenomenon, training all these notable people. Then all of a sudden you walked away. I think it was in 1988 to become a full-time mom.
Yeah,
What
girlfriend,
made
you even know the date.
Yeah, I do. What made you decide to just totally stop working and dive into motherhood?
Well, one of the things that I teach people is that your mind will always lead you astray, your heart will never lead you astray.
Mhm.
And even though I had it all planned out, as soon as I, pushed that baby out, I was going to go on a tour of Southeast Asia. My friend Chiang was setting it up for me. I had a soon to be best-selling book in the hands of a major New York publisher. I had to put it all on hold when I was pregnant because I had a lot of morning sickness. I was really a sick baby. And also I was in negotiations for my own daytime TV talk show.
Wow.
Janet Atwood, who hopefully you can have on your show sometimes, the founder of the Passion Test, she was my secretary at the time. And Marcy Shimoff was my secretary before her. I know she's
And
been on your
yeah,
show.
she's been on the show. Yeah, I think she recommended you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I recommended
her,
her.
I don't
We always recommend each other.
Yes.
But what happened was that I had all of these things pending that were going to take off after I gave birth. And I gave birth and I took one look at that little face, that little scrunched up face, and I thought, new passion. Because what I tell people is that you were put on earth for a purpose. We were each given talents. We were each given things that we excel at, whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's massage, whatever it is. And that is a gift from God, the God of your understanding. And also, the God of your understanding. I believe that the creator whispers in your ear, can you please open up a gluten-free bakery because you're a good baker, right? I mean, God can't come down and knead the dough and pick out the signage. So God has no hands but yours. So whispers into your ear, do this because the world needs it. But the truth is that those gifts are not going to go away. And those people who were put on earth because you were supposed to be their teacher, you were supposed to be their coach, you were supposed to be their foster mom, whatever it is, they're not going to go away if you take a year out to be with your mother while she's dying, or if you take a year out to go hold AIDS babies in Uganda, or if you take 20 years out to be a full-time mom at home. Because when I took a look at that little girl, I didn't want to leave her to go to the bathroom, let to go alone Southeast Asia, right? So I just told everybody. And you know what's funny? I remember calling Chiang and I said, Chiang, I know you want me to come and do the tour, but you're going to have to call me back in 18
20
years.
years. Yeah.
18 years. And then it became 21 when my son was born. But you know what? What's so interesting about it is that my passion for teaching success didn't go away. I just shared it with the people in my immediate community and with my kids and with my kids' friends and with my foster kids and all of the people whose lives changed because I shared these principles with them. Or even more importantly, especially those of you who have children or godchildren or nieces or nephews, because they are watching if you walk your talk. Because I could teach them all the success principles I know from now until the year 3000. But if I'm not living them, they are so tuned in. So it was great because if I would go off course, their little eyes would make me come right back on course. And then 21 years later, I was ready to come back and it was still waiting for me.
I love that. So did you teach your kids transcendental meditation and all these spiritual principles?
Oh, yeah. My son, and my daughter never misses her meditation. I also taught her breathing practices. I'd love to teach everybody on the line a breathing practice
Sure.
because they're anti-aging. And my daughter never misses her meditation, her breath. She's now a chiropractor because she is committed to people's health. And my son, who is actually a practicing religious Jew, which didn't come from me. I mean, I'm Jewish, but not like him, but he loves spirituality. And that was where he found his path to true spirituality. And another thing, I'm giving all these parenting tips. I was never the discouragement committee for my children. So when my son said that he wanted to do that, I would say, you know what kind of lifestyle is? It's tough, keeping the Sabbath. I said, honey, if the creator whispered in your ear, then you just enjoy that path. And the other thing is that my son is an MBA agent and an NIL, name, image, and likeness agent. And but he runs his agency much different. He doesn't just use up the kids, make money for himself and spit them out when they can't, perform anymore. If they get, sent down to the G League, he helps them plan their finances so they don't end up living.
NBA meaning National Basketball Agent?
Yeah. That's what he
Wow.
does.
And NIL is that National Hockey League? And
No, NIL is name, image, and likeness. It's
Oh.
helping high school kids get college scholarships, but now you can get paid for your name, image, and likeness by the college. So he negotiates good deals for the kids, and he negotiates deals with Nike and Under Armour and this and that. But he cares so much for these kids, and he has them learn meditation. And he gets them on a good diet, and he has these workshops where he takes them, or I don't know what he calls them, retreats for a couple weeks before the season starts, where he gets them meditating and eating well, and he also helps them with their finances so that they don't, because who knows how to manage money when you're a kid.
Exactly. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. We have legendary transformational leader, Debra Poneman. When we come back, don't go anywhere. She's going to teach us a couple breathwork tips that keep you ageless and vital. We'll be right back. I am so excited. I created something special just for you. It's called the Balanced Beautiful Bundle. And inside this bundle, you're going to get instant access to a PDF copy of my best-selling book, How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. You're going to get my best health and beauty tips to help you glow from the inside out. You'll get my Elegant Warrior Manifesto, a daily reminder of your power, grace, and purpose. You'll get my Abundance Journal to help you manifest more joy, love, and prosperity. And you'll get a daily journal reminder to keep your mindset strong and your energy and your vibe high every single day. This bundle is your shortcut to balance, beauty, and abundance in an elegant way. So grab your copy now by going to the show notes and start living your most balanced, beautiful, abundant life today. Hey there, it's Rebecca, your magnetic abundance mentor. Let me ask you something. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or like life just isn't as juicy as you know it can be? If you're nodding right along, it's time for a breakthrough. My coaching program is designed to help you align your life in all 7 pillars of abundance: spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial. So you can finally live that big, bold, sexy, and adventurous life you deserve. And here's the best part. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no sales gimmicks, just a genuine chance to experience my coaching firsthand and get crystal clear on what is next for you. Because your best life is not a someday thing, it's a right now thing. So click the link in the show notes to book your breakthrough call and let's start making magic together. Your next level is calling you. This podcast review is from Bring It On, and she says that the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show is amazing and inspiring. She goes on to say, I believe this show is a place where women can come and really learn and grow. Rebecca creates a strong and safe space for women to share and be vulnerable. I highly recommend this podcast. Thank you so much, and it is absolutely a safe place for all women to come and learn. Thanks for being a great listener.
Don't look back, let's go. Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah, I'm rising fast.
Welcome back to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. So, Deborah, you were saying that you were going to take us through a breathwork exercise that keeps us ageless.
Yes. So, first of all, you know that I was teaching meditation and I was teaching success principles. And then people say, well, why did you then start all of a sudden teaching how to become ageless? And I'll tell you the answer, and breath work has a lot to do with it. The answer is when I was approaching the big 7-0 a few years ago, people would say to me, wait a second, you look great, your
Look
mind is endless energy, complete, what was I going to say? No, complete clarity mentally. Tell us how you do it. So I gave a little, I wouldn't even say that it was a lecture. It was a talk to a few people, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And then I asked my friend, who is a Harvard researcher specializing in anti-aging and mind-body connection. I said, let's start a company and teach people how to be ageless. And so we did. And now it's been going for about, what year are we? About 5 years. We started actually during COVID. And I teach people a zillion ways how to slow, stop, and reverse
Okay,
age.
well, we want all your best tips. So let's do the breathwork exercise first, and then we want the scoop on how to be ageless and vital for as long as we can be.
Right. And I was just going to say, the thing about the breath technique is that as people get older, and especially when they're under stress, when you're under stress, this chemical floods your brain called corticotrophin releasing hormone. Don't have to memorize it, but it's CRH. It floods your brain when you're stressed. And then your axons and dendrites, remember this from high school biology, they retract and they can't communicate anymore. So that's why it's like, what was I going to say? Where did I leave the keys? What was the name of that movie? I was at the restaurant last night. I can't remember the name of it, because under stress and also bad food, your axons and dendrites can't communicate across the synapses. You remember high school biology. But one of the ways to calm that stress response and allow the communication to once again happen so that the thoughts can connect, so you can actually have coherent thoughts, is oxygenating the brain by using the breath. So I am going to teach you a really simple breath technique that anybody can do anytime to calm the stress response. It makes you feel calm in the moment, but it's also great for your precious brain. Okay.
Let's
So
go. I'm ready.
it is called straw breath.
Okay.
And the reason why it's called, well, it's not the Sanskrit name, but it is what we call it. And the reason why we call it straw breath, and you can do it with me right now.
Sure.
What I want you to do is breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth with pursed lips like you're blowing through a straw. Very slowly, one of those little teeny straws like at Starbucks. One breath, you already feel different, right?
Yeah, great.
In through the nose, full deep breath, but don't strain. And then out through the pursed lips slowly. In through the nose and feel how it enlivens your brain when you breathe in through the nose. Out through the pursed lips. Slowly. And now for extra credit, let's do a few straw breaths with eyes closed. Do it at your own pace, just for like a minute. And very slowly through that pursed lips, like you're blowing through a tiny straw.
And
Not
if
like
you're listening in the car, don't do this. Or if you're on an exercise machine, as long as it's a stationary bike, you can do it, just not on the treadmill.
right, but don't do it with your eyes closed. But if you're in your car, you could do it with your eyes open. I often do it in traffic.
Yes, you can still do it, just not the eyes closed version if you're in traffic or in your car. Powerful. It's very calming.
And that's it. I mean, we've done it for what, a minute and a few seconds. And I would bet as my husband, ex-husband, I've had two exes, love them both, dollars to donuts that you feel completely different right now. And I'll tell you something, Rebecca, when I'm like on a Zoom meeting, like a board meeting or a business meeting, and I'm getting like tense because somebody is going on and on and on, or I'm disagreeing, I just do my straw breaths and it brings me right back to that calm state, present moment. It's really, really powerful.
Amazing. Well, since we're on the topic and this is your new business, or maybe not new, when did you start the Ageless seminars?
It was during COVID. I think it was like the end, was COVID 2020 or
Yeah.
2021? Yeah. It was right at the beginning of COVID when everybody was at home. That was when we decided that we were going to start teaching Ageless.
So give us some of your favorite ageless beauty tips that we can start doing today and seeing immediate results like the breath exercise we just did.
I'll give you an immediate one. If you only do one thing because better diet, I could talk for 6 hours on better diet. But if
Sure.
you are only going to do one thing for your precious brain, for your skin, for your longevity, stop eating white refined sugar.
I
It
agree.
is the worst offender when it comes to brain inflammation, and inflammation is the main cause of your brain atrophying or aging too fast. White refined sugar and foods that act the same in your system, like refined carbs, like white bread, white pasta, is causing the inflammation that slows down communication between the neurons. It makes you feel dull, foggy, forgetful. And brain inflammation is serious because if you continue to not do anything about stress and eating inflammatory foods like white refined sugar, you can actually cause enough inflammation that your nerve cells and the brain start dying. And it plays a significant role in Alzheimer's and other degenerative diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis. So start using sugar substitutes. And I'm not talking about, what do you call it? The pink packets and the
That's the rat poison. Yeah.
twin sugar twin, even sucralose. It's a complete sham. It is more toxic to your brain even than white sugar. Those things like aspartame, all of those things, they are deadly. Okay, so what you want to do is use sugar substitutes like stevia, good organic stevia, monk fruit. But when you buy a bag of monk fruit, which tastes just like sugar, make sure that the first ingredient is not erythritol, because sugar alcohols are also horrible for the gut and horrible for the brain. Organic date sugar. Oh, I know. Coconut palm sugar, not coconut sugar, but coconut palm sugar. And if you want to move over slowly, even unprocessed raw cane sugar, organic, does not cause inflammation. But I remember Splenda, that's what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Worse than
And is that equal? Splenda's yellow equals blue, Sweet and Low's pink. Stay away from the yellow, the blue, and the pink. And the stevia packets are green if the place has them. So I take my stevia, my monk fruit with me in case places don't have it, because I won't have regular sugar.
Yep,
So,
me too. I have it right here in my purse. I just reach in my purse, and guess what? You said the green packets.
yeah.
And what do I have? Whoops, that's not it. That's one that I got at in Mexico. It's different in Mexico.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Green packets. And by the way, don't fall for sugar in the, what's it called? Sugar in the raw or something. It's a brown packet.
Yeah. They try to fool you to make you think it's healthy because it's brown.
Right, exactly. Or brown sugar. All that is refined white sugar with a little bit of molasses left in, so it's brown, right? But
What about honey? What about raw organic honey? Do you think that's okay, or is that
honey's great. Raw organic honey is fabulous. The only thing is that don't cook with it, because when you heat it over 140 degrees, then it becomes toxic. So what you want to do is you want to put it in your tea after it's cooled off a little bit, and don't bake with it. You know, when my kids were little, they never had white sugar. I used to make them birthday cakes with like applesauce or mashed bananas as the sweeteners. Their friends did not know.
You were so ahead of your time. I can't even tell you. Now everybody's meditating, doing yoga, gluten-free, dairy-free. You were like way ahead of your time. I love it.
And I have one more. I don't know. I have a kind of a long thing I want to explain about.
Tell us. We have 5 minutes before our next commercial break. So tell us everything that you want to explain about.
Okay. So one thing is sleep time. This I can do in 5 minutes. You know, people think that what's most important is that you sleep longer. But what people don't know is that it is the time that you go to sleep that makes the greatest difference. Because when we're asleep, we release human growth hormone. Okay. However, our bodies are still built as they were when we were cavemen, or, thousands of years ago, when there was no such thing as an electric light. So when darkness starts to fall, our bodies start producing human growth hormone. And what happens is that human growth hormone reaches its peak for us at about midnight, and then it drops precipitously. So those people who go to bed at midnight or at 1 o'clock, you have missed almost all of the human growth hormone, HGH. So if you really want your beauty sleep, it's a good idea to start going to bed at about 10 o'clock, because it's at its peak at about 10, 11, 12, then it drops. So, and the other thing is, if you want the deepest sleep, you want to have a completely dark room. All right. And if you can't get blackout curtains, make sure you put an eye mask on, or you put, I just put a black t-shirt over my eyes, but you get the deepest sleep when it is completely dark in your room. So those are two tips.
And cold. I think dark and cold is helpful for deep sleep, because people get so hot when they sleep.
Yes, as a matter of fact, 65 degrees is ideal for your beauty sleep. I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want people to be really freaked out. They're freaked out enough that they have to go to bed at 10 o'clock, let alone that they have to sleep in a room that is 65 degrees. But yes, for anti-aging, dark, and then also you produce the most melatonin. That's why the room needs to be dark, because melatonin is naturally produced in darkness. And even if there's a light coming in from a street light or whatever, you will not produce as much of the anti-aging hormone melatonin. And human growth hormone is also important for a strong muscle, strong bones, vitality, for your immune system, as well as for your skin and your brain.
I've been going to bed at 9:30. I also think consistency is important because I have one of these Whoop watches that tracks my sleeping, and I get a sleep score every night. And having the same go to bed time and wake up time is really an important factor in the sleep score.
Absolutely. If you want, I have my Aura ring. So
Oh,
same thing. I have got to see what my score is. And if it's not above 90, I get mad at my ring.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say I've been sleeping at a 90% lately because I've been waking up in the middle of the night because I'm so hydrated because I'm using that anti-aging hack to drink a ton of water that my bladder wakes me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
So,
just don't drink for a couple hours before. You make sure that you drink lots and lots and lots during the day so that you can sleep through the night.
yeah. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. You are listening to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. We're taking you from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. We'll be right back. Okay, can I be real for a second? You're out there crushing it in some areas of your life, but in others, it's like a hot mess express. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. You're not just meant to survive, you're meant to thrive. And that's exactly what I help my clients do in my coaching program. Together, we'll tackle all 7 pillars of abundance because who wants killer abs but a dumpster fire of a bank account? Or a thriving career but zero in the romance department? Yeah, no thanks. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no awkward sales pitch, just you, me, and a chance to figure out why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. So stop doom scrolling and start doing something about it. Click the link in the show notes and let's start giving you your best, most bougie life. You in? Are you ready to reset, realign, and rise into your best year ever? Join me January 23rd through 26th at the beautiful Amara Resort and Spa in stunning high vibe Sedona, Arizona. We'll set powerful intentions, create customized affirmations, and design vision boards using my 7 pillars of abundance framework so that you can make 2026 your most aligned and abundant year ever. You'll enjoy deep connection, breathtaking views, and total relaxation at the newly renovated Amara Resort, complete with a luxurious spa, fitness center, and zero-edge infinity pool. Spots are limited, so head to the show notes or message me directly on Instagram at Rebecca E. Whitman to learn more and claim your spot today. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're with Debra Poneman. She is just a wealth of wisdom for success, ageless beauty, all the things that we love talking about on the show. Let's go back to prosperity and success. How has your definition of prosperity and success shifted over the last 40 years?
Well, that's a great question. By the way, I do want to give people one more tip at the end.
Yes.
For beautiful skin, ageless radiance. But the truth is, remember, my background is in teaching meditation.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Most people spend their lives trying to feel successful because they get the name and the fame and the accolades and the big check, and they still feel empty inside.
Mhm.
And then one day, your soul taps you on the shoulder and says, sweetheart, that isn't it. So, what I teach people is that you have to start by having an inner foundation of silence. And that's why I still teach meditation 53 years later, because trying to build a life of success without a silent basis is like trying to build a building with no foundation. If you have no foundation, you build a skyscraper, a mouse could knock it over. But if
Mhm.
the foundation is deep, then that's how you can build a gigantic skyscraper. If your foundation of success is deeply rooted in silence, and especially right now, the great hugging saint Amaji said, now is the time to cling to your spiritual practices so that when the world shakes, you remain unshakable.
Beautiful quote, because the world isn't shaken.
The world is shaken, and all of the fame, fortune, this, that is not going to do it if the world really shakes. But what will do it is that inner silence, so that no matter, my first teacher, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, used to say that it'll be like a line on water.
So
Think
you
about
actually studied with the Maharishi
Oh, yeah.
in India or in the United States?
Neither. My teacher training, I left for teacher training in 1971, and I was there for the first 5 months of 1972. I'll just name drop. Do you know the Beach Boys were on my teacher training, and I was in a small group with them when we learned the steps to teach meditation. Al Jardine and Mike Love. How about that for trying to impress
That's
you?
cool. You can, I love name dropping. I have given up like alcohol, sugar, gluten. The only vice I have is celebrity gossip. So you can tell me any celebrities you've trained or studied with, and I'd be fascinated.
Oh, I love you. You are so adorable.
My only vice. So
Yes, so
for me,
Al
but
Jardine and Mike Love were on my teacher training. But so I went to teacher training in 1972 and have taught thousands of people now. I actually now teach through a different organization called the Art of Living Foundation. So I still teach if anybody wants to learn from me. It's a nonprofit. I don't make any money, but and I don't want to make any money. I just want people to have that inner silence. But I have to say that from meditating 20 minutes twice a day for the last 55 years, things don't shake me. I mean, I've had business successes. I've had business quote unquote failures, although I don't look at anything as a failure, just as a learning experience, what not to do next time. And, a lot of people spend their lives and they never take a leap into what they really want to do because they're afraid of what other people would think if they fail. And first of all, it's so sad because they stop their life worrying about what other people will think when nobody's even thinking about you. I hate to break the news to you.
yeah,
All right. They're thinking
no,
about themselves. And I always say, and if someone is thinking about you like, ah, ha, ha, they failed, who cares about them? They're not your peeps. Wish them well and invite them out of your life. You want to be friends for true success with the people who are your cheerleaders, who are cheering you on, who want you to succeed. But my definition of success has not changed. It's doing what makes you happy.
yay,
And if what you do makes you happy, you could be a gardener or you could be the prime minister of your country. If it makes you happy, and the way we feel happy is usually when we're doing our dharma, what we were put on earth to do, and when we're being a contribution to the world, especially now.
beautiful. I love that. So, what are some surprising truths? Let's go back into the anti-aging movement, which is where your energy is right now. What are some surprising truths you discovered when you went down the path of learning how to reverse aging?
I love this. And this is one, people might say, oh, yes, I know dark room. I know a good tip an eye mask. I know how to go to bed early. I didn't, but some people do. I just learned that in 2020. But here's something most people don't know. And it's what science is saying is one of the most insidious causes of aging of the skin and damage to the eyes. And we do it every day. And it is the blue light that emits from our computer screens. I mean, this is in addition to EMFs, which is going to be a topic for another day. But that light that comes off your screen is called blue light, and it's known to have long-term health effects. Even the health ladder of the Harvard Medical School said in July 2 years ago, blue light can affect your sleep and can potentially cause disease, including cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. That's the Harvard Medical School newsletter. And studies also say that continued exposure to blue light over time could lead to damaged retinal cells and eventually problems like age-related macular degeneration and even blindness. And here's the thing that I want everybody to hear. Blue light exposure is a particular concern for children, especially little ones, because their developing eyes absorb more blue light, putting them at greater risk. In fact, some researchers say that macular degeneration and blindness are going to be the biggest health crises when our kids who spend hours a day exposing their eyes to blue light become adults. So, and not to mention headaches, suppression of melatonin. That's why you got to turn off your computer at least
Do
90.
you have any good recommendations for blue light blockers?
Yes, there is a company called OcuShield.
Okay.
OcuShield. OcuShield. Don't just get one on because it's medical grade. They're actually manufactured in the UK and it has a medical grade rating by their medical body. And I have one more thing I want to say about it. And by the way, you can get a screen. It doesn't affect, you don't even know that it's there, but it blocks about 80% of the blue light. What I do is I also wear blue light blocking glasses. I didn't during this interview because it reflects on the light, but I always have my blue light blocking glasses for the other 20% because I am so particular about my precious eyes. And I'll tell you, 2 Christmases ago, I have 17 godchildren, 3 foster kids and 2 biological kids. They all got blue light blocking screens for their computer for Christmas and Hanukkah. You could bet that they were not very happy. They wanted a pony. They got a blue light blocking screen.
Where do you get the blue light blocking screens, and can you get them for your cell phone?
And you get from the same company, OcuShield.
Oh.
You can get it from for your cell phone, your tablet. They're all from the same company. But here's the other thing. Blue light has also been shown to age the skin more than the freaking sun. As a matter of fact, 8 hours in front of a screen without a blue light blocker on it will do the same damage to your skin as 20 minutes lying in the sun at the equator at noon.
That is shocking.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I said it wrong. It's not 8 hours. It's 5 8-hour days. So every week you're doing as much damage if you're in front of the screen for 8 hours. And dermatologist Stephanie Williams, I was reading this article in Bazaar magazine, and she said we're now seeing increasing data on long-term harm of blue light on our skin. She said our digital devices are swiftly becoming the silent agers of our generation.
Wow. Well, I'm in shock. I'm definitely going to get some blue light blockers. Before we wrap up, can you humor me with some rapid fire answers to some rapid fire questions?
You love it.
Okay, let's go. Success is?
Whatever makes you happy.
Happiness smells like?
Smells?
Yeah, smells.
It smells like whatever is your favorite scent.
The one book that changed your life?
Oh my goodness. It's the book that I'm an avid reader. It's the book that I read the week before, but the first book that changed my life was probably, besides the Bhagavad Gita, was probably Think and Grow Rich.
Great. A daily ritual you can't live without.
I have not missed a meditation except when I was in labor in 55 years.
Beautiful. Favorite mantra or affirmation?
You are perfect exactly the way you are,
I
everybody.
love that. A quote you live by.
A quote that I live by. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me think. A quote that I live by. Treat everybody as the most important person in the world.
Coffee, tea, or meditation?
Meditation, but I also love coffee and tea, especially mushroom coffee.
I love it. The best advice you ever received?
The best advice that I ever received. Oh my gosh. I think the best is from Maurishi. He said, live 200% of life, 100% inner spiritual, and 100% just grooving on God's creation. He didn't say grooving, but you get the picture.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Debra, for being a wonderful guest on the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. I know you have a special gift for our listeners, and you're also welcome to tell us how we can stay in touch with you, because I know my listeners are going to want to follow you on social and find your website.
My website is just my name, debraponeman.com. And I do teach my Ageless courses and my success courses, but my gift is an ebook called Ancient and Modern Secrets for Lifelong Radiance, where I'll give you 5 more tips on slowing, stopping, and even reversing aging of the brain and body. And you can get it at I think it's yes2success.com. That is the name of my company, but it is, actually, you know what? It's debraponeman.com. Debra Poneman.
Spell out Debra because it's not
Yes.
spelled the traditional way.
Debra Poneman. PONEMAN.com/ageless-radiance.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Debra. And thank you, everyone, for going on this beautiful journey with me. Because of you, we're a top-rated global podcast. Share this episode with a friend. Spread the message that you can achieve success through alignment, not the hustle and grind. And until we meet again, keep your vibe high and magnetize. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah, I'm rising fast. This is my moment, it's built to last. Keep the
So excited to share a review from Melissa Myers, the Glow Girl. She says, inspiring podcast. Rebecca has a gift for creating meaningful, empowering conversations that leave you feeling inspired and uplifted. Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant is like sitting down with a wise, soulful friend who truly wants you to thrive in every area of your life. I love how she blends practical advice with spiritual insights. I'm so grateful I found it. Well, Melissa, we're so grateful that you found us, and we can't wait to find out how you are glowing and growing by using this podcast as a tool. And everybody who's listening and sharing, thank you so much for your support. And it's such a joy to be on this journey with you.